Hey there, I am going to do a quick demonstration of making a FHIR code system in Open Concept Lab. So I'm actually started here in the CL source just to show that I have put together a source full of a few concepts. I'm going to clone some in there just so you can see how that is done. I put a CL concept into that source that I'm going to be using. It is loading up. It added a few more things. Let me go ahead and navigate over there to our example source that we are going to enable FHIR on. So at this very moment, we've got a few concepts in here. Some of them are sillier than others, but these are the codes that I want to expose as a code system resource. To do that, you have to do a little bit of setup. We're going to go to the edit source. And so you can come in here. You've already got many of your configurations in here, but what you might not have is a canonical URL. You need one of these in order to expose something via FHIR. I'm going to give it a silly canonical URL. Let's call it just joe.aml, just for the sake of having a canonical that we can look for. The other thing that you might want to do before you do this, before you hit the update button, you might want to add some FHIR settings in here. So if there is a publisher, if there are some contacts, some revision dates, maybe if this is a case sensitive source, whatever it might be, you can put your FHIR settings in here. I'll skip that for right now. Go ahead and hit the update button. And you want to make sure that you see that there's a canonical URL up there. The other thing to make sure that your source is FHIR enabled is that you're going to go to versions, and you need to make sure that there is at least one version in here. OCL will not expose content if it is only a head version. So you can see I already have a couple of versions in here. Let's just make one more version just because. We'll call it FHIR. I'm going to also release it just for good practice. We'll hit create button. Great. All right, now that we have created our source, it's got 6 concepts and 40 mappings in here. We'll only be getting the concepts in this. We will not be getting the mappings when we expose it via FHIR. In this case, we'll just get the concepts. Although it is possible to get the mappings, that's through the concept map exposure. We're not going to do that right now. So give me 1 second. I will pull up our FHIR content. All right, you can now see our content in the FHIR format. And so what I have done here is that I have changed the URL a little bit. Previously, we were at app.openconceptlab.org, and there will be this little pound sign in here, and then we have sources. Those are the 3 things that I changed. Instead, we are at FHIR.openconceptlab.org. I removed the pound sign, and I changed sources to CodeSystem. There's other ways to be accessing this also, but this is the easiest way that I found. So you can see that our content is in a CodeSystem format. You can see our URL right here is the identifier, and it carries over our active status. It carries over the title and any languages that are associated with it. All code systems will be given some OCL properties. So whether it is inactive or not, whether it is what data type and concept class it has, etc. And so you can see our concepts down in here. So we had one that was code 2 with this display, and it had a couple of language designations on here. And you can see that for all of our individual concepts in here. You can see their details, and this is how you view content in a FHIR format. Now, just remember the things that you have to do to expose it via FHIR. 1, you have to have a version of your source saved. And 2, you have to enable the canonical URL. You have to give it a canonical URL. Make sure that it is unique if you can. You don't want to have existing canonical URLs like, for example, loink.org. Let's let Loink have that URL, not us. It's okay. I hope you enjoyed this video.